Morning, everybody. We're going to be switching it up a little bit. Today we're doing a 2025 Winnebago Revel Sport 44N. Reason we chose this one today is we just got it in. It's in the newer color that they're starting to do. It's the silver gray color. So it's a nice happy medium between that sand color and the selenite, that dark gray that they do. So starting on the outside, the Winnebago Revel is kind of what started it all for a lot of these off-road adventure vans. I think they launched it in like 2018, and there's been a lot of copycats of it, but they've also made a lot of vast improvements on it. So with these newer chassis, they're going to be all-wheel drive instead of that 4x4 chassis. They should switch the motor towards the end of last year to a twin-turbo 4-cylinder. So now they made it to a 9-speed transmission, so it helped eliminate a lot of that initial turbo lag in here. So it's going to drive a lot more similar to a car than an actual large SUV like the older ones did. And also with that all-wheel drive, you gained about 4 more inches of ground clearance on it. So just a little bit more capable without having to do any of the aftermarket mods. So we'll start on the driver's side. You do have a light out here above the passenger door to help get in and out or act as a porch light, setting up and everything out here. Over top of me, you're gonna have an electric awning. The awning does have a wind sensor in it, and it is one touch, so you can close or extend and retract it with the push of a button, or if it starts bouncing up and down too much, it will close on its own. There's an LED light on the end of it, so you can have that porch light with the awning closed or open, so just another little thing that they do. You do have a full-length side step on this side with a dog leash or a catch on the end of it where you could strap a bike to, and there's also a smaller one on the driver's side that we'll see when we get over there. Since this is a B van, we'll kind of be in and out as we're walking around it. So right now I have this one turned around in the captain's chair, the passenger captain's chair faced towards the living room, just for ease. Winnebago sends you with, they're insulated covers for the front windshields in here, so you can have privacy on the front windshield and the side windows, as well as helping with the insulation factor. So this is an all-electric coach, so you have everything operate off of battery, 110, or diesel on it. So you don't have a propane tank mounted to it, and you want to conserve power as much as you can, so that little bit of insulation helps out with it. As far as the cockpit goes, you'll have heated seats up here, and then the seats themselves will be manual, but they do turn around. As far as exterior accessories with the sliding door, you do have a little flip down table that you can put right here. The induction cooktop inside is completely removable, so you could set it out here, plug it in down below, and you can do any of your cooking outside, so you can save that interior counter space. There is also the bug screen right here that rolls down and blocks all of the bugs, and when you zip it closed, it closes with a magnet, so you don't have to worry about zipping and unzipping it the whole time. As we go around the outside, you do have the side exit exhaust over here, so it's out of the way and it's not going towards the back of the motorhome. We did upgrade them with the all-terrain tires with the performance stylized wheels on it, so you do have the Winnebago center cap and as well as Revel engraved on those wheels. So it makes it a little bit nicer and a little bit more off-road. As we get to the back of this unit, there's a rear-mounted ladder. So this ladder is removable. You unscrew that, you use the key, you unscrew it, and you can actually put this ladder around both sides of the van, and you can access the roof of it. So you don't really have to get up there for anything, but there's this luggage rack with a little tiny bit of storage up there. But the main things that are up there are going to be the AC, the max air fan, and a little bit of solar, just to help maintain those batteries. While we're looking at the top of it, on that black panel up there, you'll notice 2 cameras in it. So you'll have a digital rear view mirror that sees about a car lengths out and then beyond. And then that mirror, the camera that is angled lower, that'll actually be your backup camera and part of your 360 camera system that's on this. So you have with the blind spot monitors. All right, down below, before we open up that door, you do have a Class 3 receiver back here. You can tow 5,000 pounds with it, and it already has the 7-way pin back here if you want to tow a small trailer or a little bit larger of a trailer with boats, jet skis, any of the side-by-side equipment and stuff. So in the back of this right now, I have it with the bed set down, so it's a smaller gear garage at the moment, but I'll raise it up when we get inside and you can see how tall it actually gets. In the doors, you'll have cubbies on both sides, left and right, so just a little bit more storage. You'll have this composite flooring that's pretty scratch resistant, as well as insulated and waterproof, so if you spill things on it, you can just wipe it down. Very easy to clean, very easy to maintain. You can mop it, you can wipe it down with a rag, whatever your preferred cleaning method is. You do have the D-rings back here that you can strap stuff down, bikes, cargo bins, generator, whatever you need based on your use case. You also have a cubby over here, little cargo net down below, and then 2 more cargo nets there, and you'll have your Nautilus system right here. So what that is it's your city water connection, as well as the valves that you would use for winterizing, for dry camping, for filling your fresh tank, as well as your outdoor shower will be back here. And then the last thing on the back side right here, you have a cargo net that you can adjust the tension on by moving these and pinning stuff up there, as well as a little gear bag up towards the front of the bed. And again, we'll see it when we raise the bed up. On the left side is going to be your main battery disconnect for killing the power to this. So this one being an all-electric coach, you do have a lithium battery in here and a 3200 watt inverter. Right now we're not plugged into anything and we have the AC going, so it's not so hot when we get in the van later. Lights for underneath, and then USBs, and as well as an external solar if you want to do one of those suitcase solar panels. And there's also another big bug screen back here with blackout shades in it. So if you wanted to do a little bit more insulation, as well as keeping that daylight out when you want to sleep in. Okay. So this next side is where it looks a little interesting with the Winnebago Revel. You do have the bump outs. So the reason that they cut those there and glue those to the body is to give you a little bit of extra sleeping space for the taller people. I believe you can fit someone up there, fit someone in there that's about 6'4", and as long as they're not too wide of a person, they actually fit on the big bed pretty well. Down below, you'll have one of the Winnebago smart plugs. So when you have it plugged into power, this will all light up green, showing that it's clean power and it's wired correctly and you have power at the coach. So it's a good way to tell if your breaker's popped on the pole or somewhere else along the lines. The next portion on the driver's side will be a cassette toilet. So this will be a 5-gallon cassette toilet. It is removable. A lot of people refer to them like a little suitcase. So it has wheels on it. It's got a handle. If you need to take it out and dump it, you can dump it in a toilet or in the actual dump station if you need to. So this compartment is nice and thick, so it is insulated, and it'll also stay warm from the air temperature inside. And it's mounted right below the toilet, so it's pretty easy to use. Down below, you're going to have your gray tank dump valve. So you'll have a sewer hose that's inside. Winnebago sends you with the initial one. You would take the cap off, pull the dump valve, and you can dump that into your designated dump area. You'll also see this other side step that they have. The Winnebago logo is all embossed down it. And then 2 more catches on the end if you want to tie stuff off to it. So a lot of people ask what this little exhaust is. That's for the Timberline heating system. So that'll be your continuous hot water for this, as well as your hydronic heating. And that uses diesel or electric. So now what we're gonna do is go to the inside and cover some of the things that are in there. So we'll roll this up so it's easier for Jody to see us and cover the things in the entry door. So one of the cool things about the Revel is a lot of this can be used with the door open. So it's meant to be able to go up into the woods get off grid, be away from society for a little bit. So they make it where you can use a lot of this inside and outside. So one of the things that they do is you have the outlet down here as well as an outlet up here for if you're prepping anything up here. The awning controls are right here, the light controls are here, and a lot of the light switches are right here as well. And then your fridge door opens really far, so you don't have to come into the van to reach in to grab a drink or anything like that. As well as you have a little chest freezer up above. So it is a 12-volt fridge, so it's compressor driven. You don't have to worry about the angle that it's tilting at, and it does cool down very quickly, unlike the old gas and electric fridges. As we're going through it, you'll see a lot of these tracks. They're little ram tracks. They're just for mounting things. If you want to put a little net, put a little handle, you'll see them throughout this van, as well as a D-ring right here if you need to tie off something right outside the door or inside the door, however you want to do that. All right. So we'll start with up front. This will be the easiest place to show one of these screens. So you have a bug screen here, and then you have blackout down below. They do clip together, so you can just move them in unison. And the windows are dual pane acrylic, so you can adjust the tilt on them as well as the latch, and it'll also help conserve that AC and heat, so you're not just burning excess power or fuel, cooling or warming the coach. And then they also make aftermarket insulated blankets that you can put over each one of these just to help that much more. So you do have a removable table right here. It is mounted with a pole. Down below it's going to be a little storage compartment because, again, you need to be able to utilize every nook and cranny you can when you're in a van this size. You'll have an outlet down below, so if anybody wants to work on the road with a laptop on this table, you can. There are 2 seat belts here, so you'll have this driver's side one being a 3-point harness, as well as the passenger side one will be a lap belt. Behind this cushion, there's going to be a small storage compartment. The smaller portion goes all the way across, and then it's also recessed a little bit more, so you can put some bigger items in there. Underneath this cushion is another small storage compartment, and it's shallow, but that's where they'll store this little table extension that mounts to the end of the countertop, and we'll demo that in a minute. So the next thing that we'll cover is going to be your controls. So over here you'll have your bed controls. You'll have a little silver key in here. Once you purchase one, most people just leave this silver key here, but when we're on the lot, we try to keep that out because we don't want these to go missing, just be a hassle to replace them. Down below it will be your Timberline. So this will be used for adjusting your temperature via heat or turning on your hot water. So every time you turn it on, it'll heat water continuously for 30 minutes. Down below that's going to be some light switches. The next one over is water pump, your tank levels, as well as your battery levels. So you can see your chassis and your house voltage from here. Xantrex is going to be your inverter. So you can turn that off here or turn it on and off on the electrical compartment in the back. And then the last panel will be your solar controller. So this will show you what your battery voltage is at, as well as how much power is coming in. Up above this, you'll have one of your larger storage compartments with outlets, USB, as well as the 12-volt port. And then up above, you'll already have a cutout for a roof access port. So if you wanted to put Starlink or a digital antenna, anything of that nature on here, you can. Winnebago sends you with a big bag of owner's manuals, so if you want to go through and read that. These compartments are metal, as well as they're padded inside, so less likely for stuff to slide around, as well as helping mitigate those vibrations that you have. To the right up above, you'll have an overhead shelf. That's where those window coverings were from the factory, but feel free to put anything you want in here, you know, whatever fits. It's just a little storage compartment that you can utilize. All right, so down below is going to be your converter, so that's going to be for your breakers. And then to the left of that is going to be the panel for your fuses. All right, so Jody, if you want to get over there. So this is your countertop space. You do have a nice big sink for the size of this. You have a decent amount of counter space, as well as the countertop extension. So that will slide in here, and then it clips in with that black plastic piece, so it just gives you that much more space to use. So with that being there, it helps. So here's the removable induction cooktop that we talked about. So you can kind of set it off to the side or bring it outside, however you want. But we usually store it in this drawer, and that's where they send it from the factory because it fits really well. So down below those, that big drawer, you'll have a small drawer here. You'll have a little bit larger of a drawer. And then you'll have a deep drawer down here. Above, you'll have another cabinet. Little rack with some USBs off to the side. And I'm going to raise the bed up before we keep going in here, just so it's a little easier for it to navigate around. So with that bed going up, you can see what the total space is on that gear hauler. You can see another little ram rack here, ram track. All right. So this last compartment here is going to be your adjustable shelves. So people will use that as pantry space or whatever they need to put in here. Just depends on your use case. Some people do longer trips or shorter trips. So, under here, you can see the little cargo bag they provide you with. So put whatever your heart desires in there. You can also see the height that you have under here. So I'm 5'10", I'm hunched over a little bit, but it's more than enough space if you want to put some electric bikes, mountain bikes, or anything of that nature in here. You do have outlets down here as well. So though everything in this is tied into that inverter, so you don't have to worry about something not having power. In this compartment, there's not a whole lot of reason that you'll ever have to come in here, but you'll be able to see your lithium battery in here, that you can turn it on and off from the button on it. There's a breaker, there's your inverter in here. And there's also a couple resettable fuses if you need to access this. You'll have a window at the head of the bed, and again, more screen and another blackout. You'll have USB 12 volt and another outlet. All right, what else is back here? So that's about it for back there. So the last thing that we'll cover, well, not last, but part of the house portion. So you have a wet bath in the Winnebago Revel. So it comes with 2 bamboo shelves, so you don't have to worry about bacteria, mold, or anything of that nature. Winnebago sends you with the initial box. It'll have the shower curtain for in here, a basic sewer hose, the hose for the shower, as well as the hose for the outdoor shower. And then that power cord is usually put in here, but we pull it out just to charge these up. So in this bathroom, you'll have a hanging rod. So some people use it for wetsuits or things that need to just dry, or for your closet, however you need to do it. There's a vent fan in here, so you can turn that on and vent out any of the humidity. And then with these removable shelves, you'll take them out, use this as your shower. But down below, you have the little storage box. You'll have another storage box for your toilet paper, as well as this is the cassette toilet. So it is on a swivel base, so if you need more room, you're a smaller person, you need to have your feet outside of it, you can. It's a simple lever flush on it, and then there's a button for water over there to fill it. So the cassette is 5 gallons, so you'll have plenty for your long weekend trips. This door does have a magnet at the bottom, as well as a catch at the top. So again, it's just gonna help with rattles and keep the noise down inside of it. I'm gonna lower the bed down again, and we're gonna talk about the AC that's on it. So it is a Coleman Mach AC, so it's actually a pretty quiet one. With this, what's unique to this one is you have a forward vent, a rear vent, as well as these 2 individual ones. So right now I have them both pointed towards the front of the coach just to help with cooling towards there, since we don't have the dash on. The buttons are on here to control the temperature on the AC. It's on high. You guys probably don't hear any of the wind noise or any of that. It's a very quiet AC, so that helps a lot, especially for people that don't like the loud ACs like they used to have back in the day. Let's see. So the last thing that we're going to cover is the chassis stuff up here. Ooh, let me grab the keys, Jody. So with this one being the newer chassis, you'll have a lot of creature comforts on the steering wheel. So this will have active lane assist as well as adaptive cruise control. All the Mercedes controls are on the little stick to the right. You do have paddle shift if you want to control yourself going down the mountains. So you can help use your engine and transmission to slow you down instead of just heating up your brakes, especially here in Colorado. Your windshield wipers are off to the left over here. Your mirrors are electric, so you can control the top portion as well as their electric close. So if you're into those tight parking spots or parking garages, you don't want those to get damaged, you can do that. They are heated seats, so it's a little bit more comfortable, especially in the colder climates. Your home button and this left touchpad is going to control everything on the cockpit side of it, as well as your cruise control settings are going to be over here. So on the right side of this, you're going to have another touchpad that's going to control the display over here. So you can answer, hang up the phone, and then cycle through all these different options. So down below, you'll have your camera system. So you can filter through each of those, front, 360, the rear, a little bit broader the rear, and then zoomed in with a little hitch icon if you're hooking up the trailer down below. Telephone will get to your phone settings. Navigation, you do have navigation built into the Mercedes chassis. Radio and media based on what you need to do and what you want to listen to there. Obviously the home button, power, vehicle settings, and then seek down below. Below that, you're going to have all of your temperature settings for the chassis side. So AC, you can control temperatures over here, your fan speeds over here, as well as hazard lights being in the middle. So it's much easier to find than a lot of vehicles that kind of stash it on the column or everything out of the way. Up above, this will be that rear view camera we talked about. So again, you can adjust it a little bit where it's looking, but if someone's within a car length of you, you really can't see them if they're right behind you. So that's where this other camera will come into place, and you can see a lot more of it down behind you. Up above, you will have 3 storage spots. So the left and the right one are just going to be storage, and the center one is going to be where you have a wireless charger, 12 volt, and then a couple USB ports where you have the USB-C, and you can connect to that via, or you can connect your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto to that. That's going to be it for the Winnebago Revel. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me. My cell is 404-936-6215. My email is justin.rogers@transwest.com. This is a 2025 Winnebago Revel Sport here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Call me if you got any questions.